underneath it all, losing my mind, having a darkness of the soul and ego death, spiritual awakening. It's not for the faint, and some people will never see it. They'll never go through it. They'll never face themselves. And facing yourself and who the world has made you into being, instead of the divine being that God would truly have you to be. Now that's a spiritual awakening. And losing my mind to gain a new one from all the bullshit that I was brought into and that I experienced on this journey, and facing the fact that it was me too, that I wasn't that person that I wanted to be, and that I, had done some stuff. And as far as my family went, I contacted my mom several times before leaving out of there and let her know I was getting out, and left it at that. She stopped taking my phone calls or anything like that. And I'm going to read this. This is from Breaking the Habit of Being You, Losing Your Mind to Gain a New One. And this here, I found that, made a lot of sense to me. Changing our relationships, breaking the ties that bind. Most relationships are based on what you have in common with others. Think about this. You meet a person and immediately the two of you compare your experiences as if you both are checking to see whether your neural networks and emotional memories are aligned. You say something like this: I know these people, I am from this place, and I lived in these places at these different times in my life. I went to this school and I studied this subject. I own and do these things, and most importantly, I've had these experiences. Then the other person responds, I know these people, I've lived in those places during those times. I do these things too, and I had those same experiences. Thus, you can relate to each other. A relationship is then formed based on neurochemical states of being, because if you share the same experiences, you share the same emotions. Think of emotions as energy in motion. If you share the same emotions, you share the same energy. And just like two atoms of energy that share an invisible field of energy beyond space and time in order to bond together in a relationship to form air, you are bonded in an invisible field of energy to everything, person and place in your external life. Bonds between people are the strongest, though, because emotions hold the strongest energy. As long as either party doesn't change, things will be just fine. So when our friend in the example in the last section begins to tell the truth about how she really feels, things begin to get very uncomfortable. If her friendships have been based upon complaining about life, then she is bonded energetically in relationships by the emotions of victimization. If in a moment of enlightenment, she now decides to break from the habit of being herself, so she is no longer showing up as that familiar person to whom everyone could relate, people in her life are using her to remind themselves of who they are emotionally as well. Friends and family respond, "What's wrong with you today? You've hurt my feelings," which translates to, "I thought we had a good thing going here. I used you to reaffirm my emotional addiction in order to remember who I think I am as a somebody. I liked you better the other way." When it comes to change, our energy is connected to everything that we've had to an experience with in our outer world. When we break the addiction of emotion we've memorized, or when we tell the truth about who we really are, doing that takes some real energy, just as it takes energy to separate two atoms of oxygen that are bonded together. It takes energy to break the bonds with the people in our lives. So the individuals in this person's life who have shared the same emotional bond with her rally together and say, "She hasn't been herself lately. Maybe she's lost her mind. Let's get her to a doctor." Now remember that they have been people she shared the same experience with. Hence, they shared the same emotions. But now she's breaking the energetic bonds with everyone and everything and even every place familiar. This is a threatening moment for everyone who has been playing the same game with her for years. She's getting off the train. So they bring her to the doctor, who gives her Prozac or some other drugs. And in a short time, the person's familiar personality returns, and there she is, projecting her old image to the world, right back to shaking hands on others' emotional agreements. Once more, she's numb and smiling. Anything to take the feeling away. The lesson goes unlearned. Yes, the person wasn't being herself, not the top hand self that everyone had grown accustomed to. Instead, briefly, she was the bottom hand self, the one who with the past and the pain. And who can blame those loved ones who insisted on the return of her former numbed self that went along to get along? That new self emerged as an unpredictable, even radical. Who wants to be around that person? Who wants to be around the truth? That was very, very fitting for me. Very fitting, extremely fitting. And it rings truth for me that I had unvictimized myself. And I was ready to share that truth. But people who are in that emotional bond, they're not ready to face themselves or face the truth. Face the fact that they're a divine being as well. But I, came to that point to face that. So I'm going to ask some questions here, and I got a couple questions to answer from my Leaving Washington State video. So let's ask some questions here. Why don't the doctors ask about lifestyle, like the food that I was eating or other things? And why did I end up at the same place being followed with Joshua? And What will happen to Ernestine for lying to me? And what will happen with my family? And was I meant to be where I was meant to be? Did I create the being followed scenario? Does the number 8 mean something? And what will happen? What will happen? Stay along on this journey, and it's very interesting, some of the things that happened. I will tell you that. And my questions to be answered about the police being called on me. So let's get this straight for a moment. Get this straight for a moment. I went to Ernestine's house. I told her my truth, which it was against the whole victimizing mentality. And her family called the police on me. And then they lied to me about calling the police on me, and Ernestine put my kids in state custody. Makes for an interesting story, doesn't it? It's a little bit like this. I'm going to share this because it's kind of like this.
All day in paradise, folks, but don't forget to buckle up out there in Radio Land. Remember, good driver, good, and a safe driver. Good driver, good driver, good.
Wait for the cue, background, wait for the cue. Stand by 1. Countdown to action. Stand by, everybody. Stand by 1. He's heading west on Stewart. Stand by all extras. Gloria, he'll be on you in about 90 seconds. Pops, make sure the coffee's hot. Okay, he's making his turn onto Lancaster Square. Oh my God, he nearly hit balance. Something's wrong. Change frequencies.
Ouch. Sorry about that, folks. I guess we picked up a police frequency or something. It sometimes happens, and it can drive you crazy. Okay, it's Classical Climb back in here, and we've still got some great music up ahead, but hey, don't forget to buckle up. Remember safety. Good driver's a safe driver. Safe driver is what? Yes.
guys.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I love it. A mí no me interesa. Bueno, señorita, hasta luego. Las noticias son muy importantes. Oye, por favor. Ya lo sé, pero por eso que no tienes dinero para...
Can I help? Oh, yeah. I have an appointment at Gable Enterprise. They went bust. What's happening? Nothing. Just tell me what's happening.
Got the brochure. We're remodeling.
No, you're not. What are those people doing?
It's none of our business. It's none of your business.
Don't tell me what's happening. I'll report you.
Well, your business.
Truman, what are you doing here?
I gotta talk to you.
It's a bad time, okay? I'm way behind.
I'm onto something, Marlon. Something big.
You okay? You look like shit.
I think I'm mixed up in something.
Mixed up in what?
There's no point trying to explain it, but a lot of strange things have been happening. I mean, the people on the elevator, there was no backing on it. I looked out, there was people there, and on the radio, on the way to work, starts like following me along, talking about everything that I'm doing. You know what I mean?
No, Truman, look, this is one of your fantasies.
I think this is about my dad.
Your dad?
I think he's alive. Yeah. I'll tell you about it later. I'm definitely being followed.
Who?
It's hard to tell. They look just like regular people.
How about those two?
I don't know. Could be. It's when I'm unpredictable. They can't, you know. Anything happen?
No.
Mm-hmm. We gotta get out of here. You ready to go?
No, I just can't.
Come on.
I told you I can't. You're gonna get both their asses fired, you know that.
Okay, man, let's do it.
What?
Whatever you say, I'm game.
What? What are you talking about?
Yes, sirree. Your birthday comes but once a year.
I think that was a very fitting little thing. Like, what's wrong with you, Alisha? Having people follow you and track you, and you need some help. Yeah, we'll find out what kind of help I got. And answer to the question of the police and the FBI, that I made a police report in Illinois and had told Robert's daughter to call the FBI. And I made a police report when I was in the hospital here in the North South Carolina area, and about them following up, and they never followed up. Never. Yes. Corrupt government. and, being listened to and watched through your television and your phone. And, you know, all the scandalous stuff with, 9/11 and, the voting and, the, the satanic Satanist ordeal of things, children missing, children being sacrificed and all kinds of nasty things there. You know, all kinds of different things. And I lost my mind. Oh, there's COVID too. It all makes for some very interesting stories and purposes for sure. Hmm. The rest of this year will be a very interesting journey to take with me as I, talk about some of the things that I learned and looked at and stuff by everything I went through. But, I have, truly came to knowing why I was everywhere I was. I know why I ended up in Minnesota with Ernestine and her family. I even know why I separated and left my kids there. I know why they were flown back to Washington State. And I know why I was in that particular hospital in Illinois. And the connection that I made with Joshua and the place that we ended up going to eat, the little store. I know exactly why I ended up there with him and stuff. I know exactly why I ended up at Shannon's house as well. I know why I didn't go to that person's house to stay there as well and just continued on to the North and South Carolina area. I know why I felt the way that I was feeling. I know why we ended up at my daughter's boyfriend's house as well. And I know why I ended up in the hospital and why I had to separate with my children. It's all spiritual. And sometimes, and definitely that time, that I spiritually, on the spiritual level, had made the choice to go alone for some time. And it was all spiritual. And some of the feelings that I was feeling was just the moves in my life that I had to make, that I had to make some big moves to get me to another level. And it's part of my purpose. And going through a true spiritual awakening with waking up to the BS from the world system that includes government, education, financial, Hollywood, sports, on and on. Religion. And some people are going through it, and some people don't know the answers. And I can only hope that I will give some people some of those answers through my journey and my experiences that I went through. And through the journey, I got some answers about, some of the things about the world and for me and things like that. And even some very interesting information for about my family and my bloodline that I come from, which in, the bigger picture of it and me sharing my journey and things that I've gone through here, that even if my family doesn't want to pay attention to it or want the information, that it can help other people to maybe see something as well. And, truly, facing myself, having that dark night of the soul and ego death, that I didn't like who I was being. I had been emotionally and reactively abused for a very long time, and even doing some of that to my own children. And that's just, how it ends up being. It's just an emotional type trauma bonding type deal. And we had to go through it. I had to go through it because I put a lot of work into myself. It wasn't a time that I took to dick around with my life. And I poured the energy into myself to learn to love myself and to set some healthy boundaries and to find my inner happiness and my inner peace. But, putting my kids in DSS, state custody, that was a very, very dark time for me. But I wasn't being the best mother for them. And I know that, through the spiritual awakening that I went through, I mean, if we can go back even to 2020 and stuff, and I was involved in the church and the religion, and, I was emotionally and reactively abusing my children. And, um, just had us, I was part of having them trapped in religion, and I broke free from the religion and things and the old type world system, and looked at the conspiracies and stuff for time there. But I came to this one point, and I truly believe it is because of my purpose and the journey that I took to serve here, is that I had to detach from everything. And I got that message before going on Facebook and saying I was done with the church, which was the day before Memorial Day in 2023. And during that summer, as I evaluated my life, evaluated this man that I was looking for, because that's when I got the message about the relationship thing, and prepared for that major surgery on 9/11. And that was the mark that helped me to, start waking up and coming out of, the dark. And I really was changing at that time. I really started to see like that movement happening in my life, kind of like that Truman Show thing, And truly with Ronald, I really threw all those attachments out on him and attached to him. And then it just came about that it was just time to let go of it all, let go of all the crap that I had gone through and been through, because I really had been evaluating things and seeing, why I came into the situation that I was brought into with my parents, and why I had gone through what I had gone through with my step grandfather Cal, and on and on. And so I really came to see all those things. And the thing is that with people who are stuck in those victimized trauma bonding type ordeals, and people even do it with religion, they even do it with the government and the political crap. And so I that when you try to break free from that stuff, people try to hold you in, and it's nothing truly personal. They just don't know any better. And I had been going through something, an awakening to myself and to, reality, and many realities, really. And you know, as I gone through the journey of being separated from my children, which has had its challenges for sure. But I feel successful in the challenges, and that I've very much have learned and grown so much. And I even got a spirit guided message that said thousands of years spiritually. And as I looked at things and evaluated things, there was a woman who lived a long, long time ago. And this thing happened a long, long time ago, way before my lifetime. Way before my lifetime. Many, many years before my lifetime. And this woman was in an abusive relationship, and she had a couple of kids. And back then, women didn't have rights to the children. And she had to choose herself, and she had to save herself. And that's what she did. She abandoned those two children with that abusive man because she had to choose herself and get out of it. And I spent some time thinking a little bit about that woman and what she must have gone through doing that. To save yourself, from, that situation or whatever. I can only think that it was probably one of the toughest things that she ever did, but she had to choose herself and get out of it. And as I've gone through this journey, being separated from my children and looking at that I truly came to a point that I would rather spend a little bit of time away from my children to get some new perspective of things and pour into myself and be the person that not only I want to be, but who God would want me to be. Raising up to that Christ consciousness, being like Christ, working on mastering myself and the things that God has given me to have control over. Emotionally supporting myself because nobody else has ever done it. And if I can't emotionally support myself, I can't emotionally support anybody else, including my children. Which means by me going through what I've gone through and coming to where I can emotionally support myself, that I will be better to be able to support my children emotionally. and, just pouring into myself, which I have done. And when I started, I got led to the podcasting the very end of last year, which I will eventually share that story and stuff, that I was in a great place. I really was. I really had, put a lot of work and effort into myself at that point, and I was in a great place. And today, I'm in an even better place, a much better place, because I really came through to see why I had gone through everything I had gone through and been to all these places that I had been, what I gained, because life is all about learning and growing so that we can end up teaching and helping others. And that's the purpose I am serving. And, being where my happiness is not based upon having my children, having a man in my life. No one, no place, no thing that is going to truly make me happy. It is going to be me. I have to find that happiness within myself. And, even letting go of the fact that I'm not going to be the one to make my children happy. They have to find that happiness within themselves as well. But by finding that, I can help them. I can try to teach them those lessons, because it's not any person, place, or thing that's going to find that happiness or find that peace or the love. It all is within. And finding that balance of stability, because the world and all the chaos and all the bullshit has made me completely unstable, and it looks like it's made a ton of other people unstable as well. But I've really come through to gain that balancing, that grounding, that within my nervous system. And, being in a reactive abusive relationship where all of a sudden someone's going off the hinges, and it just does something to your nervous system. And you keep on going through it. And I was born into that stuff. And so I'm at a great place, finding that balance within myself, and, really empowering myself and speaking my truth. And clearing my throat chakra, which has been closed for a couple of lifetimes. And, I went through something this week I have really been working on, surrendering to my life and, going with the flow of life, not expecting anything, and these things, just, figuring out like, why would I go through this? Why would I, spiritually make this decision to go through what I'm going through? And, I had something this week that I had to get through a little bit, of, going through that flow of life, sometimes we don't get what we want, but it serves a purpose. And then I got this little thing that came to me because there has been something I have wanted to do for a very, very, very long time. A very long time. It's that one bucket list thing. There's not a lot of things that I've, really been like, I want this, I want to do this, I want to go this place or whatever. There's not a lot of those things. And I did get a trip years ago to New York, which was the only place I truly wanted to go to. And I got that trip. That was part of my evaluation of seeing how I did get that and how I got it and stuff. And I didn't appreciate it like I should have. But I was like, this thing that I've wanted to do for a very long time, that I even shared with my guy friend 2 years ago when I was preparing for that major surgery. And he had said, well, it sounds like you should do that. But I didn't do it. I didn't do it, even though, the surgery was, pretty major and stuff. And I do feel it was like that life and death kind of like situation. I still didn't do it. And I've just really come through this spiritual awakening journey of letting go, being fearless, being unlimited, stop putting the limitations on myself. And this one thing that I have truly wanted to do all this time, is, I've really come through even accepting myself for where I'm at and who I am now. And that includes my body. And that is like the one thing that truly held me back from experiencing this one thing that I truly wanted to experience. And so the other day it just popped up on me that I should do that. For some reason, earlier in the week, I had come to taking this day off, and I knew I was doing this podcast and stuff. So I requested the day off, and then I had this thing pop in my head, you should do that. And it was like, there's no better time to do it. Why don't you do it, today, the Friday, right? And so I looked it up and found what I wanted and made the arrangements to do this one thing that I have truly wanted to do. And, sometimes when we make a decision that is for ourselves, maybe it has even like a little bit of a financial cost to it, or whatever, that, well, like, should I have, you question yourself on it sometimes, but I really had to go through that. I have worked very hard on myself and my life, and I deserved it. And I truly did deserve it. I did deserve it. And it's very funny because when you start watching the signs of things in your life and the synchronicities and the things that when you truly connect with God and just see how God works in your life through all kinds of different things in all kinds of ways, that I have this affirmations app on my phone, and it will send me several messages a day. In fact, it's expired and it still sends me tons of messages a day. But on Wednesday, the very, very day that I decided to do this one thing that I have wanted to do before I leave this earth, I only got one freaking message off of that thing that day. The day before that, the day before, I got several. Yesterday, got several. But I went on there and looked at it because I look at it every night. I look at all of them. And I looked at it that night, Wednesday night, and it had only one message on there. And this is what the message said. I balance making money with relaxing and enjoying life. That is like total confirmation. And, truly coming through that my happiness is not contingent on having my children with me. Life is all about learning and growing. And once we do that, we can teach and help others. And, my children had some learning lessons that they had to go through. Some that I would have never made the decisions on. I never would have, but sometimes we have to go through those learning lessons. And I can only hope that by me sharing my journey and sharing my story and my experiences will help them and help others as well. And, just being able to see why do I need to go through this, and having those growing experiences that maybe my children will learn them before they have their own families. Or maybe there's somebody who will see it, who will have those growing lessons before having a family and their own children, so that you can truly enjoy life. I mean, it's ours. It's ours to enjoy. And so people are so miserable. It's sad. It's truly sad. And the things that we listen to and the things that we watch that affect us like that. But some people will never learn those lessons and they'll never see it. And so truly I'm at this place that I've spent this majority of this last year truly being alone and, being quiet, more quiet and stuff. And really working on myself, that if people only knew where I was spiritually and within myself, they would want it. They would want it if they only knew. But life's getting easier and life is fun. And that experience that I went through today was totally worth it. It was totally worth the money I paid for it. And I had plenty of money to be able to do it. It was a great time for it. And I enjoyed it being alone. Not just in a physical sense, but right here. Right here. Right here. I did think about my kids a little bit, that it'd be fun to do with them one day. And maybe that day will come. But if I had to do it by myself again, I would. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I deserved it. I truly did deserve it. You couldn't imagine every single day and the weeks that I have made stride after stride after stride to help myself to be better and do more for me. And by doing that, it will help my children. So this is my truth, sharing my journey, my experiences, and what I know and how I've grown. And I am truly grateful for this beautiful life and this beautiful world and being alive. One of the things I didn't mention in there was that when I went through that dark time, I begged God to take my life every day there for a couple days. Then I wake up and if I only knew where I would have ended up, it would have been totally different. And that's why looking at life differently, that there's a purpose for everything. And I'm grateful for changing my lenses a couple of times, quite a few times, on my perspective of things. My next show for this series is going to be on September 10th, getting a job. And we'll talk about what happened from that time that I got out of the hospital up until September 10th when I got a job. And I am working on doing one for sin, soul, and God. What is it? What is sin exactly? And what is our soul? And what exactly is God? And I am offering help to anyone who wants to work on healing from their traumas, as I have gained this introspective gift and, religious traumas that I've worked on healing from, narcissistic abuse even, and these things that if you are starting the path of healing, or if you're on it and you want some help, want some insights on things, that I am offering that you can contact me through my email that I leave in the bio, or message me on Facebook through Messenger. And so I ask that you like, share, and subscribe and donate if you can. And I will leave the links in the bio for my Facebook accounts. I'm under Alisha Broman Quinn, and I have a group, Our Greatness. And leave my email bio in there. I'm on Rumble, and I have 2 channels on YouTube. And I'm on True Social too. So I've been sharing my videos on there. And so, and I'm on TikTok a little bit doing I've done a couple of videos, and I'm gonna probably be doing one like weekly or something. And just to, you know, for my, where my growth is at, because, you know, there's people on so many different levels. And, you know, that's part of the game of life here, is that there are people just on so many different levels that, you know, if you're on a level down here and you think I'm here, well, there are people up here. And, you know, there's just always room for growth. That's truly what there is. When you start working on yourself, that there's always truly going to the next level of growth and raising up your consciousness, for sure. And that's what I've truly learned, that some of the things that I need to let go of and, you know, stop doing, and some of the things I'm in the process of doing that I'm just like, I'm working on it. But, you know, it just is, there's always room for growth when you work on yourself. And so enjoy your day and your life. Sending love, peace, and healing. And I'm going to end with a video and a song that's so fitting, because sometimes, and the song is very fitting, that I did choose spiritually, and it had to play out in the physical. I did choose to go down this journey here alone, but I'm not alone forever with it. So, love you all.
I saw this quote the other day. It's been on my mind for a while now. It said, true growth is when you're tired of your own shit. And that hit hard. You can literally feel when it is time to move into the next chapter of your life. And the thing is, your new life is going to cost you your old life. You ready to make that trade? Not everyone gets it. Because it's going to cost you your comfort zone and your sense of direction. It's going to cost you friendships and relationships. It's going to cost you being liked and understood. But none of that matters. Because those that are meant for you, they're going to meet you on the other side. And you're going to build a new comfort zone around all the things that move you forward. And instead of being liked, you're going to be loved. Instead of being understood, you're going to be seen. And all you are going to lose is what you built for a person you no longer are. I saw.
When you commit to a path, I guess you were on your own. Follow your dreams to a place, a space, the grace that takes you home. You don't have to tell me once or twice, wonder why we're here. We just gotta stop the flood before we lose it all and drown from fear. But let me tell you, I'm ready to fly. I've survived through rainstorms, sandstorms. I fought the war. Now it's time to go home. Let me tell you, I'm ready to fly. I survived through rainstorms, sandstorms. I fought the war. Now it's time to go home. It's time to go home. It's time to go home. Walking through the dark alone, no clothes, striking a light, burning for the heat, the fire, the sparks, the love to keep me alive. I'm captured for a gift, the thrill is how they live. One-way track to hurt and to forgive. So I lift my head, open my arms, give a sword to my heart. I said, let me tell you, I'm ready to fly. I survived through rainstorms, sandstorms. I fought the war. Now it's time to go home. It's time to go home. It's time to go home. Pick me up off of the desert. Feed me water. Walk me through the hills. Wait until the sun shines upon us as we cross the haunted hills. Pick me up off of the desert. Feed me water. Walk me through the hills. Wait until the sun shines upon us as we cross the to